Hello and welcome to Colin's Yarn Magic. This week's project is a little Pokeball and a Great Ball, or you could have any of the Pokeballs really. You will need a couple of different bits and bobs. You'll need a keychain, a 4mm, a 3.5mm hook, and all the other things that scissors, sewing needle, etc. Okay, so the Pokeball is made up in two separate parts. You have the red or the blue part and the white part, and then we'll join that at the end. You will be working yarn under single crochets for this project on a 4mm crochet hook. If you can't do the yarn under, you can do this pattern on a 3.5mm hook. Okay, so we're going to begin working the top half, and we'll begin leaving a long tail to work our magic ring. Okay, so leave yourself a long tail and begin your magic ring. Okay, so cross over and make your magic ring as normal. Okay, into the ring you're going to work 6 yarn under single crochet. So insert your hook, and instead of coming over the hook, we're going under the hook with our yarn. Pull that through. When you have 2, yarn over normally and pull through. So it's only the first part you yarn under, pull up a loop. When you've got 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn under, then over. 3, under, then over. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so pull your ring closed, but not all the way, just enough to start round 2, which is a full round of increases. Okay, so in each stitch around you're going to work 2 yarn under single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that gets us our first. Into the stitch you're going to work 2 yarn under single crochet. So go into the stitch, yarn under, pull through. So it's under, then over. So into that first stitch, place your stitch marker. So another yarn under, single crochet in that stitch, then 2 in each stitch around. So you're going to work around 2 single crochet in each, and I'll get you at the end, okay? Okay, so you're going to pop your sewing needle onto the long tail, and we're going to add the keychain part. It's just easier when it's being made rather than later on. So grab your ring, and you're going to come through from the bottom to the top through the actual middle of the circle, and then fasten your ring on and pop it back through the same circle to the back and pull it really tight. And then on the wrong side you're going to make a little knot, and then do that a couple of times. Okay, so do that a couple of times just to secure the keychain, and then we'll continue. Okay, one more knot, and then we'll continue round 3. Round 3 is 1 single crochet, then an increase. So single crochet in the first, again it's yarn under single crochet, 1, and in the next stitch work 2 single crochet, again under, over 1 and 2. That's the repeat. Single crochet in the next, increase in the next. So it's 1 increase all the way around, and I'll get you at the end of the row. You should have 18 stitches. So on round 4 we're going to stagger our increases, and this just helps make a proper sphere shape. So our next increase is 2 increase, but the first one we're going to do a little bit different. So into that first stitch work 1 single crochet, pop your marker back in, and then into the next stitch work an increase. So it's 1, then an increase. Okay, so now we're going to start a repeat of 2, then an increase. We'll do that 5 times, and then to make up where we've only done 1, this last stitch will become our 1, 2, then an increase. So we're staggering them around. So it's just the first one, 1 increase. Now we'll begin the repeat, 2 single crochet increase, yarn under again. So it's 2 increase, 1, 2, repeat, 2 increase, 1, 2, and an increase. You're going to do that 5 times, and then you'll end this row with just 1 single crochet, and I'll get you there, okay? So 2 increase around, then end with 1. Okay, so round 5 and round 6 is just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So yarn under and then over, just one single crochet, and you're going to make 2 full rounds, so 5 and 6, one single crochet in each, and then I'll get you there where we'll do our finishing off round. Once you've done those 2 full rounds of single crochet, we're going to work into the front loop only, working a full round of yarn under slip stitches. So go under that first loop, yarn under, pull through 1 and 2. Keep this quite loose because this is what we'll be using later on to make this transition absolutely invisible. So even when you pull it, you can't see the stitches, and we're left with the little ridge that the Pokéball has. Okay, so front loop, yarn under, slip stitch. Front loop, yarn under, pull through 1 and 2. Slip stitch all the way through. Yarn under, slip stitch. Okay, so continue to do your front loop slip stitch around, and then we're going to do an invisible fasten off, and I'm going to show you that in 1 second. Alright, so at the end of this round, you're going to, when you've come to the very end, pull your yarn all the way through. So snip it and pull it all the way through. Get your sewing needle. Again, we're going to do an invisible fasten off. Okay, so you can see here we have these front V's that faces, and then when you turn your work over, you also have your top V. So we want to replicate the front facing V. So you can see that we've already got 1 loop here. So skip the first. Okay, so skip the first stitch and go through with your needle. The next stitch, push towards away from yourself, and you want to try and make a V shape with this. So you can see that would become the bottom of our V. Pull it over to exactly where you started and push through, and you can see that that makes a little V shape. Same, okay? So pop that away, and like I said, the pattern is going to come up on the screen, so you can pause it and make a white part, and then we'll begin again together, okay? Okay, so now I have my 2 halves. You can see here, we're going to now make the button for your Pokéball, which requires a 3.5mm hook and white. So with your 3.5mm hook and white yarn, you're going to make a magic ring and work 8 half double crochets. Now, if you did yarn over single crochet for the Pokéball, use a 3mm for this part, okay? So slip stitch to secure, and now we're going to be making 8 half double crochet. Make sure you yarn over this time, okay? So yarn over, go into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, oh, and then when you have 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, into the ring, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So 8 half double crochet. So you're going to shut the ring, so you're going to close the ring nice and tight, like so. However, we're now going to straight away do an invisible fasten off. So pull the yarn out, so you haven't actually connected both sides yet, and pop your loop on. Now, it's very important for this part that you do not work into the 3rd loop. So when you work half double crochet, you can see you have the front loop, the back loop, but then on the wrong side of your work, you also have a 3rd loop. Make sure you work this next part into just the front and back loop. Okay, so you can see here, you're going to skip 1 and into the next stitch, pop your yarn over. Okay, so you can see that this is going to become, we're going to cover this V and make our own little V. So pull that tight. Then from, you can see we started here, so pop your yarn in, but only through that back loop. Don't, see this one here, that's the 3rd loop. We need that for the black. So push your yarn away and pull it down, and you can see that that closes our ring. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now grab your black yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. Okay, black and a 4mm. Okay, so we're going to join our black. So you can see here we have a front loop, the back loop, and then this one on the wrong side is our 3rd loop. Insert your hook, grab some black, and fasten on your black. Okay, you're going to slip stitch, and this doesn't count. Pull that nice and tight. Into the same stitch as your slip stitch, you're going to work a yarn under single crochet. Into the next third loop, repeat 1 yarn under single crochet. So you'll have 8 of these single crochets all the way around. Okay, keep going. Into that third loop at the back, work a yarn under single crochet, and I'll get you at the end. So at the end of the round, fasten off your yarn, and now we're just going to work into each stitch a little back loop, and this just helps cover this white part up. Okay, I'm really sorry that this is hard to see. Go through the stitch, just each stitch around, you're just going to loop. So you're coming from the back to the front and just loop it, and it helps. You can see, so we can see the white through here, and now we can. So keep doing that all the way around, just into that back loop, work a little loop, and then fasten off, and we'll join the 2 halves together. Okay, so now you have 2 halves and a button. Grab some stuffing, just a little bit for the moment, just enough to hold the shape, just a tiny wee bit, just to hold the shape. It makes it a wee bit easier when we do this next part. Okay, so with your 4mm hook and black, we're now going to join both halves. Now this is probably the most tricky part, but it does give you this very clean transition. Okay, so now we're going to join both sides of the Pokéball together. We've got a little bit of stuffing in it. Take your time at this point. We need to figure out where we're actually working into, because we've got these slip stitches at the front, which creates a V, and then we've got all these stitches at the back. Okay, so you can see we have this V here, and then we have another V here. We're working into the front loop of the back V, so you'll still have this one that kind of faces the different direction. Pick your white up, and now we're going to do the same. We're going to find where we're working. So you can see we have our front V here, and then our back V here, and now so it's front loop on the blue and back loop on the white. Now the back loop here can get stuck behind, so it might be a little fiddly, but take your time. Okay, so we want that stitch right there and there. Okay, so with the V, we've got other V. Okay, so now grab your 4mm crochet hook and pop through both of those loops and fasten on black. Okay, you're going to fasten on with a slip stitch that does not count. Okay, so fasten on with a slip stitch, chain 1 or a slip stitch, and it doesn't count. So you're going back into the same stitch and work a yarn under single crochet. Now we're going to continue to work around in each of the same stitches. So you can see we have our front V, we want the front loop here, and then the back loop on the white. So you can see we have our V. Behind here we have another V, and we want that back loop. And like I say, this side is quite tricky because it hides in behind it. Okay, yarn under single crochet. So it's the front loop. So you're ignoring the front facing V's, and then your back loop here, front facing V, and like I say, this one hides in behind the stitch, but it's there. And you're going to do this until you've got maybe 3 or 4 stitches remaining, and then we're going to finish stuffing the Pokéball, and this needs to be stuffed very firmly to hold the shape. Okay, so this is where you're going to continue around. So you have your front facing V, that's the stitch there. Okay, so continue to work this all the way around, leaving 3 stitches. Okay, so once you've only got a few stitches remaining, you're going to stuff the Pokéball really firmly. Okay, so add your stuffing and make sure it's really firm, and then we'll finish the great ball together. Okay, so just keep stuffing until it's really firm. Okay, so just finishing off the stuffing. When it gets to this point, if you use a pair of scissors, it might make it a little bit easier for you just to get into all those little spaces that need some stuffing, or as we would say in Scotland, into all the nooks and crannies. Okay, so the Pokéball is stuffed nice and firm, and I'm just finishing off Once you get to the end, you can snip the black, leave a long tail. We're going to use this to sew the Pokéball button on. Okay, so grab your yarn, grab your sewing needle, and let's begin. Okay, so now we have the Pokéball and the button made. We're going to join them together. In the centre, and now we're going to sew round it, and I'm going to show you where to sew so that the stitches don't show up. Okay, so you're working behind it. Make sure your sewing needle never comes above the line of the button. Okay, so pop your yarn away, and then you can see these ones that reach over like that. You're going under just that one loop and sew it down. Again, you're going into one stitch. Make sure that it's never above this point, okay? Oh. And then we're going under that one black loop. Okay, under the white. Make sure again that it never comes above that point, and that will hide all your stitches. Okay, continue it. And you're just picking up that little bar at the back. Okay, and then when you get onto the black and the blue, it's just the same. You're working behind it so that it hides the stitches. Okay, and just fasten that off, and now we're going to begin the stripes. So, okay, so for the red stripe, we're going to chain 11. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so 11. Into the second chain from your hook here, you're going to work a yarn under, single crochet. And the next, a yarn under, single crochet. Now, for the next, so we're going to work 2 single crochets here. So for the stitches in the middle, we've got 6 there. We're going to work 6 extended single crochet, okay, using the yarn under technique. So insert your hook, yarn under, pull through. You've got 2 loops. Now yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next stitch, repeat. You're going to work an extended yarn under, single crochet, pull through 1, then pull through 2. Yarn under, pull through, you've 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So you make 2 of these, pull through 1, pull through 2, 1 more, yarn under, pull through 1, pull through 2, and end with 2 single crochet. If you're doing this with yarn over technique, go down a stitch, so do this with a 3mm. Okay, and then fasten off with a long tail. Just pull that through and grab your sewing needle again. Okay, so the great ball has the 2 red stripes placed just above the central button. So see in line here, this is where you want to start, right in that point. So I'm going to pop a needle that I'm not using in that to hold it at the front. Stretch it round to the back, follow the same line. So can you see, we're going to be following that line around. Okay, so we're going to be here, following this line. Pick up 1 loop from the blue and 1 loop from the red. And we're going to be hiding these stitches underneath. So you're going to go under the red. This is the next stitch here. Okay, so through that stitch, pull the yarn all the way through. Okay, then under that stitch, so this is the line we're following here, go 1 row below, and you're going to pick up 1 loop from the blue, pull your yarn through, reset, so come back under this next loop, and repeat. Okay, so we're going into the next stitch, pull your yarn through before going under the blue. Then you can see the stitch that we're going to be working is there. Pull through it and then through the same stitch under both loops here, back to the front, so we can do it again. Okay, into your next stitch, just the red, pull your yarn through it, pull it down, and you can see your stitch here. I like to bend, as you can see my hooks, my sewing needles, I bend the end up, and it helps picking up these kind of stitches. Okay, back through to the front to reset. This technique can be used for anything if you want to hide your stitches, really. And repeat, okay? So you'll do that for the front and the back side of this. So we're going to do that, we're going to do that around and underneath on both sides, and that would be your little Pokeball finish. Okay, so you can do these in all different colours, white to make a premier ball, etc. But that was the little Pokeball, and I will see you next time when I'm feeling a bit better. I've been under the weather with my back. I've got slip discs and getting shooting pains. Okay, so I will see you again soon. Bye now.